Well, Qantas has been caught up in a race row. It's been forced to apologise after retweeting a photo of a couple of Wallabies fans. They were pictured with player Radike Samo with their faces painted black and wearing afro wigs. Twitter users described the image as appalling and it was quickly removed. Qantas released a statement on the site saying they'd spoken with Radike, who had no issue with it. Let's get some reaction from advertising expert Matthew Bywater and also James Pitts from Odyssey House. Good morning to you both. Matthew, first up to you. Has this done Qantas any damage to its brand?
Unfortunately, I have to say yes, because of the story that's now created. But I have to say I feel sorry for Qantas because I don't think there was any malicious intent here either by Qantas or by the fans. In fact, if anything, they were showing support for this particular player. And but the fact it's created this negative story and they've had to pull it so quickly has created a bad image for them.
Should they have pulled it on a couple of responses on Twitter? Is the response on Twitter overblown? Because I've got to say, on the Sunrise Facebook, we have been swamped with exactly the opposite view.
Yeah. And this is the hard part with social media, because it takes a few people only to get some sort of response happening. And if you react too quickly, you're reacting to a minority group.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's real danger. I have to say, I think Qantas have overreacted. Qantas have a lot of other battles to fight in the face of unions, pilots associations, overseas outsourcing. And this is just one battle they thought, you know what? Let's not fight it, so they pulled it.
OK. James, Radike released a statement. He said, I don't know what all the fuss is about. These guys were actually paying me a tribute. I don't know why anyone's getting worked up. That sort of reaction is just silly. Is he right there?
Look, I think that, you know, for him personally, obviously, if he's okay with it, that's fine. I think that one of the things that a lot of times people may not understand is just what this really represents. And certainly the whole idea of blackface, and particularly in the States, and depending on what the reaction is here, was a kind of an institutionalized way to really perpetuate racism, particularly against blacks. It was associated a great deal with the whole idea that blacks were not intelligent, you know, kind of silly, happy-go-lucky, not really industrious kind of thing. So I think that's what the reaction is more towards, that kind of perpetuation of that image.
I can understand that in America, but this is Australia. Do we have to be conscious of the cultural nuances of other countries, and are they conscious of ours? Sort of in America, are they conscious of our cultural nuances or really don't care? Because it's got nothing to do with it.
Look, I think that, you know, nowadays, I mean, say maybe 20 years ago, it would have been less of an issue because I think that certainly Australia and other places were much more isolated. I think, as you know now with media, I mean, you know, things like this go around the world very quickly. And so I think that certainly that, and certainly Australia has a lot of cachet in the United States. Yeah. And so certainly I think that people would be a little bit more conscious of some of the norms and some of the customs here, as I think people would be here.
Where do we stop? Do we have to be conscious of just American ones, or Nigerian, or Chinese, or Japanese? Sort of, we have our own culture, our own sense of humour here. We can't sort of trade that off for somebody else's, or shouldn't.
And nor should you. And I don't think that that's necessarily the issue. I think that the issue here is about an image that has been shown that in some cases offends some people. Yeah. And certainly that the whole history behind it has a lot more to do with, you know, an institutionalized kind of racism than people may be conscious of.
Because it wasn't meant to be offensive. It was a tribute, and Radike took it as a tribute.
Certainly.
Shouldn't that be just the end of the matter?
Well, I mean, as far as he's concerned, I think personally that should be the end of the matter. But I think then when you put it up on a social media, that this is the, this is the trick bag with social media. There are pros and cons in using it.
Yep, exactly. All right. Okay, guys, thank you for that. Good to see you.